Welcome back everybody to the Search Show 24/7. This is Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice movie review. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. This is a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it, it's your fault. It's Sunday, alright? Movie came out Thursday, so get over yourself. Now, with that being said, I really enjoyed this movie. Now, I am a DC fanboy. I am a Batman, enthusiast. This is a movie I've been waiting for since I was a little black child playing in my grandma's room with my Batman '89 toy and my Christopher Reeve Superman toy. So I've been, dealing with this for a long time, and I've been wanting this for a long time. So now that it's happened, I'm safe to say, and I'm honored to say that I really enjoyed this movie a lot. Is it a perfect movie? No, and I didn't need it to be a perfect movie to be good. All right, all it had to do is be good. Is it even the best DC movie out? I don't even think so. Now, with that being said, as of today is Sunday, Easter Sunday. I've seen this movie 4 times, and I've enjoyed it each time better and better and better. And yes, it has flaws. Yes, it's not a perfect movie, but it never had to be for me. I went into this movie telling myself that it was never going to meet my expectations in my mind that I thought it should be. So I already reeled myself in for that. So I already kind of took my expectations down before the movie even started, and I was still pleasantly surprised by a lot of things. A lot of things I already knew because of the trailers, unfortunately, but it didn't matter because when it all came together and when it was all brought together, I cried like 3 times in this movie, and very important times in this movie that I legitimately had tears in my eyes because I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is actually happening. And that's all you really need for a movie like this. People need to go in this movie. If you haven't seen this movie yet, you need to go into this movie knowing that it's never going to meet your expectations because that's impossible. And to not go, don't go into this movie based on blind leaders, as my man from X-Men Apocalypse says, or as Apocalypse from X-Men Apocalypse says. Don't follow blind leaders. Don't just listen to a YouTube star, a critic, a website, or anything that you like. Give it your own opinion. Give it a good, fair shake, and just go into it just knowing that it's going to be a good time. It is long. I didn't care. I love long movies. But go into it knowing that, it's not a Marvel movie. It's not going to be funs and giggles and all that. And you just got to go into it with just an open heart and an open slate, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by it. Now, like I said, it's not a perfect movie. It has its problems. Most of the problems it has, I'm surprised that no one's ever talked about it. Like these reviewers, these critics that you love to watch and stuff, they're talking about stuff based on what other people are saying, just so they can be added into that group. But I'm not really hearing what certain things that are really like important to this movie that kind of brings this movie down just a little for me. And the biggest thing for me in this movie that really messes it up is Lois Lane. Amy Adams. I love Amy Adams. I think she's a great actress. I think she's a good actor and all this in this movie, but certain parts in this movie where she just does not belong in this movie. You know what I mean? She just does not belong in this movie. And it has mostly do with towards like the end of this movie. Like, why the hell? This made no sense to me. Why the hell? This is probably my biggest problem with this movie. And it's not even that big of a deal because I still really enjoy this movie. It's just, this was the biggest thing out of every 4 times that was like, I hated that every time I saw this movie. Why the hell would she throw away the kryptonite spear, pick it back, have to go save, or have to go back into the ocean to get it or whatever? It's just like this stupid thing. Like, she didn't even have to throw it away the first time. Like, she didn't at all. Like, stuff like that made no sense. That was something to where, she only threw it away just so she could have another moment with Superman and picking him up and saving him from it when he goes into the lake to get the kryptonite spear. that never needed to happen. If you could have took that entire section out and still had a way for her and Superman to have that final moment before he goes and stabs Doomsday with the spear. You could have had an entire different thing, cut everything out from that with her throwing the thing away, trying to get it back, drowning. All that could have been cut out, added something different, and you could have still got to that same point with her and Clark saying their last goodbyes before he ends up, dying towards the end. And it was just stuff like that where it just drove me crazy because that whole sequence of her doing all that takes place right when Wonder Woman, one of the best parts of this movie, comes in, and it just cuts back and forth to her and her. So every time every time you see Wonder Woman and she does like her awesome thing and her music is like the greatest thing in the world, they cut from it so you can watch Lois Lane drowning over something that she shouldn't even did the first time. She shouldn't even thrown the thing in there, and she shouldn't even thrown the spear in the water because Superman was nowhere near it. All right. Oh my God, Superman was nowhere near the thing the first time. When she throws when she throws the spear in the water, Superman and Batman were already gone. Superman was going to get Lex. Batman was going to save Superman's mom. So that never needed to happen. She did not have to throw that in there. The only reason she did that is so she can get saved by Superman. And it was just a stupid thing. So that was just my biggest problem of this whole movie. Other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, a lot of critics are giving this thing just a lot of hate and stuff, and it's funny that critics are saying that, but the people who really matter, the audience, are really enjoying this, and that is a testament to that, critics are not always right. All right, so you can't just follow blind leaders, like Apocalypse said. Stop following blind leaders all the time. Just give a movie a chance on its own. All right, don't go into a movie already hating it without you even watching it. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I seen it happen firsthand watching this movie. Talking to a friend, I was like, yo, when you gonna see Batman v Superman? It's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to see it anymore. I already hate it. I was like, why do you hate it? Because I watched a YouTube review and they didn't like it, so I don't like it. So you're telling me you already don't like a movie that you haven't seen just because someone else said they didn't like the movie, but you haven't seen it yet? So stuff like that is just, I don't understand. Like I say, you people give it a chance. It does have a lot of gusto in it. It has a lot in it, and for that I give it more praise because Zack Snyder, Warner Brothers, they told you straight up, like, yo, it's gonna be this in it, 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 to get us to Justice League. They told you that from the beginning, that it's gonna be a lot of crap in here, and for a lot of stuff that's in it, they successfully put it in a good amount of time, and they kind of spread it throughout. It's not as crowded as I thought it was going to be, and it's a testament to just knowing what to keep and knowing what not to keep, I guess. And then just going out there and just going for a home run, and I like that. That took a lot of balls for them to do that, to add all this stuff in, because they don't want to go the same route as Marvel. They want to just kind of push it in there with this one movie, get it out there, and now we don't have to worry about the Cyborg backstory. Now we don't really have to worry about kind of the Wonder Woman backstory. I mean, we might get a little bit more of her because we do have a movie of that, but a lot of stuff we don't really have to go through because we went through it in this movie, and I like that. Now we can just kind of up and run. We're up and running now, and I really enjoy that. And because they did it good. It'd be different if they did all that and it was bad. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great, don't get me wrong, but it was good enough to where I was like, okay, I'm okay with this. Like the whole, people say they shoehorn in the whole Justice League thing. I don't think so. I don't really think they shoehorn in the whole Justice League thing. It was in a right little spot, and it wasn't a lot of time about it. It was like 2 minutes at max once you get to see Aquaman, Flash, and all that. That was really cool, and I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed the whole nightmare scene with Batman and how Flash had to come and warn Bruce about this whole situation with Lois and and all that, and how she's the key. that stuff like that, just like, oh my God, they're actually doing it, and I really, really appreciate it. Stuff like that. Like I said, it was a few moments where I cried in this movie. One moment was when you have Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent just talking about their ideologies and things that they believe and what they disagree on. That was just one thing, because that was one thing. Well, I grew up on just watching the cartoons and Justice League Unlimited and Justice League and stuff like that, where that was a good thing about their relationship, and what drove them to kind of hate each other and kind of respect each other at the same time, is and that rivalry, because they never agreed upon certain things. And just that little moment was good. I wish it was longer. I wish they had more moments like that. They only really had one moment like that in the movie, but I really enjoyed it. Another moment was obviously when they actually fight, because like I said, as a little kid playing at my grandma's house with my Batman '89 Batman, and my Superman toy, just having them fight, just that moment of them fighting was really, really good. I wish it was a little bit longer, but it was good. It was really good. I could have watched that for like 2 hours, just that in general, just them fighting 2 hours. But I do like the whole story of what had to come to get to that moment. I do like how Lex Luthor was a part of that, and how he tricked both of them into fighting each other, and how he was kind of the mastermind in between all that. It was really, really good. I like Lex Luthor. A lot of people, and it's weird because I thought a lot of people was going to hate on him, but I actually see more people like him than disliking him. It is a lot of people who dislike him, but I actually seen a lot of more people who actually like him, and it's good because he is a different type of Lex Luthor. I'm actually glad that he's different and he's not the same kind of cookie cutter Lex Luthor, because we've seen that Lex Luthor so many times. I was so glad that they picked Jesse Eisenberg, because he has this very quippy type of douchey assholery type of personality, and he fits right into it, and he has these little ticks that shows that he's very unstable, but he's still smart, and he's just evil, and I like that about him, and he had a lot of great moments. So I really did appreciate that whole Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, and I was always on board with that, because he's just a great actor, and it was a reason that they picked him instead of like so many other people. So I was always cool with that. Gail Gadot, like I said, she was the last part where I cried at when she shows up and you see all three of them and they have that moment. Is she with you? And they pan out, and it's just that trinity, just the tears, just like, this is happening. These three people who I idolized since I was a kid are actually on screen together, about to kick some ass. Her throwing the lasso and her just pulling back. Like I said, I've seen this movie 4 times. I can tell you this entire movie if I wanted to. Just her pulling back Doomsday with the lasso, and it's glowing, and you can tell, and she fits with those two. Like, she is a giant, she is a tall woman, she is an Amazon, she looks the part, she's got the muscle, she's not skinny. Like I said, I was always on board with her, because I just had faith in her. Like, a lot of people didn't have faith in her because they said she was too skinny. I follow her on like Instagram and stuff. I seen her working out, putting that work in like she's supposed to, so like she was supposed to do. So I was always never worried about that. The only thing I was worried about if they were going to portray her right. They portrayed her right. The only thing I wish they would have had more of her. I wish they just would have had more of her in there. She has a total like 8 minutes, and she could have had more moments if they would have took some of that Lois Lane crap out. They could have just had more moments of her just fighting, because when she's just going around as like Diana Prince, just just kind of just sneaking her way around trying to find these files of these pictures of her, it works really good. She has a great moment with Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. A great moment, and she has a great introduction with the music and stuff. It's just a fantastic. Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, he might be the definitive Batman, because he's just that. He's the most physical Batman that we've ever seen, and I love the Michael Keaton Batman. That was the first Batman I've ever seen. I love the Christian Bale Batman. I even love the Adam West Batman. I love the Kevin Conroy Batman, but he is that Batman that I grew up in with the comics, just very visceral, very violent, very just on yo ass Batman not giving a F. And it was, I said it was 3 moments, but when I come and think about it, it was a fourth moment. And it's a very small moment that actually made me cry. And it was with a small character who's only in it for just a second. It was with the police. When the police are raiding or trying to save these women, and the women are like, they're freaking out, and they close the gate, and like, he's up there, the demon, he's up there, the demon saved us, and like, we don't understand you. And then the cop goes and looks, and he sees Batman for the first time. He starts shooting, and he freaks out, and he almost shoots his partner in the face. He's like, I never seen him before, I actually saw him this time, I actually saw him. And just that moment, like, I started tearing up, because I was like, oh, that moment, that sets up everything I need to know about Batman. He is a Batman who's been Batman for 20 plus years, and no one's really seen him. They just heard about him. They've seen glimpses, but no one's really seen him. So when people see him, they freak the F out and stuff like that. And he's got this whole demon type of thing. And people don't really know if he's bad or anything like that. So that moment with the police officer was just a good moment for me. But overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. If you haven't seen this movie, please see it. Don't listen to critics. Make your own judgment. Go into it knowing that it's never going to meet anybody's expectations. And just go into it knowing that it's a good movie. It's fun. A lot of great moments in this movie. A lot of great moments. Yes, it has problems. I'm not saying it's a perfect movie, people. I'm not. It does have problems. But the good outweigh the negative to me. It does a lot. Because the only real problems I had with it was the whole Lois Lane thing. And no one's talking about that. Everybody's talking about every other little situation, but no one's talking about the whole Lois Lane thing. That thing is driving me crazy. She's in moments that doesn't need to be, where we could have more Batman v Superman stuff, more Bruce Wayne versus Clark stuff. We could have more Wonder Woman or more Princess Diana stuff. Just certain things with Lois Lane, she does not have to be there. I love the fact that they had the balls to kind of kill off Superman, and obviously he's going to come back, but I love the fact that they had balls to do that. If I was them, I would have never even had that end scene with like the whole rock coming up. I would just have that scene just still. No dirt coming up or anything. Like, make the people think that Superman is actually dead. Don't give these people hope. Don't give these audience members hope. I would have never if I was directing this movie, you would have never got that scene. You would have never got the dirt like moving up. You would have never got that scene. You would have left it moving knowing that Superman died and he's not coming back. Even though he's actually coming back, you would have left this movie knowing that Superman did not die. So that would have been what I would have done about this movie. Aquaman was really cool. Flash was really cool. I love the way they did Cyborg and stuff. It's just weird because they have like, I have toys of Aquaman. Like, I literally have toys of this guy. I have toys of him. Oh, whatever. I have toys of this guy. You only see him for like 2 seconds, guys. You only see him for like 2 seconds. It's a beautiful 2 seconds, but I have toys of him. I wanted more Aquaman. You know what I mean? I wanted more of Aquaman. But it had me excited. It did have me excited. I just wanted more of him. Everybody looked cool. Ezra Miller looked cool as the Flash, as Barry Allen. So, like I said, I really have nothing to complain about. You know, I love the fact that these dream sequences, they confuse people. I think that's what they're supposed to do, because if you read the article, Zack Snyder said he wanted to have a certain part of the movie where you get confused and you don't know what's really going on. And I like that. Like, if you're a big comic book nerd like me, you know what's happening. But if you're just a normal Joe watching this movie for the first time, you don't know what the hell's going on. And I like the fact that you don't know what's going on about that. And I think it's really cool that he left it up in the air like that, that he didn't like just give it to you. He didn't like spoon feed you like these clues. He kind of left it just out there and just let you think about it and let you have your own interpretations of it. So stuff like that was really cool. Closing arguments, like I said, it's not a perfect movie. I've seen this movie for 4 times. It's not a perfect movie. It didn't have to be. It's still a great movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies. It was very emotional for me just watching it. With that being said, I'm so excited for, I'm still excited for like what's to come. It's got me excited for Suicide Squad. It's got me excited for Wonder Woman. It's got me excited for Cyborg. It's got me excited for Aquaman. It's got me excited for Justice League. They're about to start shooting this thing in a few weeks, guys, and I'm excited for it because of what this movie's done. So we're off and running. This movie put a lot into it because it's about to give us a lot of stuff. So I was okay with it going for a lot of stuff. Give it a chance, enjoy it, have fun. Please comment below, let me know what you think, and do you agree with anything I said? Please, somebody agree with me about the Lois thing. All right, I don't want to hear nothing about some Lex Luthor bullshit. I don't want to hear nothing about how it was too long. I want to hear some crap about Lois Lane. All right, please talk about the Lois Lane thing, because am I the only crazy person in this whole universe who has an issue with Lois Lane just being in it for no reason in certain scenes where we could have way more Wonder Woman? Somebody please talk to me about that, because no reviewers, these blind leaders that you're talking about, these blind leaders that you follow, none of these people are talking about the whole Lois Lane thing, and it's driving me crazy. So as always, this is the Cirque Show 24/7. Be easy.